Timestamps as always in the description box. Here we go, story number 1. Opie writes, I, female 19, have been with my boyfriend, male 21, for just under a year, 11 months or so. I finished college with great qualifications. I live in England for context. As I've always been a hard worker and knew what I wanted out of life from a young age. I am now in the police and adore my career. It's what I've always wanted. My boyfriend is an entirely different kettle of fish. He has 0 GCSEs, no college qualifications, and has only managed to hold down one job his entire life, for 8 months, and left because he didn't get on with his boss. I wasn't with him at the time of his job. Since then, he has gotten no job offers and turned down the one job offer he got because, quote, he didn't like the sound of it, unquote. I have cut him so much slack with his job situation. He was raised in an awful household. He was consistently moved from house to house, depending on what boyfriend his alcoholic mother had at the time. These boyfriends commonly abused my boyfriend and his mother. I assumed this would have jeopardized any education around 12 to 16 years of age. However, no job in almost 1 year? He now lives with his grandmother, claims universal credit, and spends it all on tattoos or cigarettes. Turns down anything the job center offers him, and at the cost of sounding cruel, he lives in a pigsty. Last time I visited his house, I ended up covered in bedbug bites, had to bath in dead flies. There was rotten food in the bathroom bin, and the kitchen was full of moldy, dirty cups and plates. He, quote, cannot be bothered to clean mess, unquote, even though he does nothing all day but sit at his PC and play video games. I have offered to help him get into therapy, but he insists he doesn't have a poor mental state. I wrote his CV. I referred him to some of my family members, as some of them own businesses. I suggested attending college again and wrote a personal statement for him to send to local colleges. I have tried everything and to no avail. I am moving out very soon as I have found a lovely rented property in my area, but I can't let my boyfriend live with me because I'm too scared he will not find a sustainable job and will eventually lean on my income. My family do not like him anymore. I come from a fairly well-off background, and they just view him as a lazy mess who won't pull his weight as an adult. However, I do love this man. He almost worships the ground I walk on, and he is amazing to be around. But at this point, his affection is not enough to keep me in the loop. I'm so lost on this. I'm starting to think he is almost convinced he will never work in his life. I don't know what to do. And here's Opie's update. Hi all, sorry for the delay on an update. I've been on very long shifts with work, so it completely skipped my mind. I went round to his house on Saturday after I had a brief break from work and said to him I was ending the relationship because of his lack of ambition and laziness. As guessed, he broke down into tears and promised he'd try harder and sign on to other agencies that would help him do better, work on cleanliness, etc. I told him I'd waited long enough and tried to help him, but he refused to take it, and hopefully me leaving will give him a bigger push to do better and do well for himself. Then came the self-harm threats. I asked to leave as a while had passed and I had said what I wanted to say, and he claimed he was already self-harming from the way his life was, and me leaving will push him over the edge. I said I still cared about him, but I couldn't help with that, and he followed me to the car and I drove off. I was worried he was sincere in what he had said, so I rang emergency services for a welfare check. I also blocked him on everything to stop him from potentially spam calling me. That's the end of that chapter. It does suck, but I knew I needed better. Also means I don't have to worry about moving into my own place with someone leeching off my wages. Thank you to all the strangers here for their advice. I appreciate it a lot. Well, OP, I think you did the right thing because you and your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, you were definitely on very different paths in life. You were together for 11 months and you tried everything you could to help him. But here's the thing, the fact that he couldn't even admit to himself that he has mental health issues, that already means that there isn't much you could have done, Opie, because he has to make those decisions himself. It is interesting though that he denied having mental health issues, but then when you broke up, he started coming out with all of these things. Some of it can be manipulation, but some of it is possibly the truth. I think your ex-boyfriend is suffering from depression, Opie, but he doesn't recognize that or doesn't want to admit that. With the kind of childhood he had that you described, that would understandably leave him feeling emotionally drained and lacking energy, lacking motivation in life, because the trauma has never been addressed. So it's all sitting there, it's all stuck in his body, inside of him, and taking over his life, controlling his life. And that's also why his living conditions are what they are and why it doesn't even bother him. So I hope that this is the push he needs, as you said. We can only hope that he accepts that he needs help and that he gets it. He's only 21. He has his entire life ahead of him. It would be really sad if he wasted that. Good luck to you though, Opie, in your career and your new place that you're moving into. I'm sure you're going to be very happy. Let's move on to story number 2. Opie writes, so my boyfriend, 20, booked a holiday with his mates, which lies at exactly the same time as my birthday. We've been together 5 years. He's come to every birthday celebration. He knows my birthday is in the middle of June. He didn't think to mention it to his mates when they were booking their lad's holiday. Nah, it's all arranged around them for what works for them, and all completely forgot me. Let's add, I'm good friends with my boyfriend's friends. One of them always makes sure I get to and from the toilet safely at clubs, since I'm the only girl in the group. They're nice guys, I trust them and regard them as mates. But you can understand why I'm upset. All of them completely forgot about me and don't care. To be fair, my boyfriend apologized and said he'd make it up to me big time. But birthdays are important to me and he knows that. I used to be suicidal, so every year on my birthday, it's a real achievement to say, quote, wow, look how far I've come, unquote. But they're all away, not even in the country. But it sucks that I'll be completely alone on my 21st. I feel insignificant in the lives of everyone important to me. And I know it's dumb, and I'm kind of mad at myself for being so petty. But I'm genuinely hurt and wish my boyfriend and friends thought of me for even a second. Update. So we've talked about it. His friends came over and we talked about it some more. None of his mates actually apologized to me, just made a lot of excuses and became uncomfortable when I addressed the issue. They defended my boyfriend, said he was really upset by it and looked at changing the date but wouldn't because it, quote, lined up with one of their birthdays and they didn't want to travel on their birthday, unquote. Now, I'm a reasonable person. I understand not wanting to travel on your birthday. I'm not screaming at people. I'm trying to discuss my feelings. Here lies the problem, being the only girl in the group. You get told you're being overly emotional, ignored, and talked over. They actually had the audacity to say my boyfriend would call me on my birthday. So, quote, it's fine, unquote. It's not fine. After 5 years, I think I should rate higher in his priorities than a phone call while he's sunning himself and I'm sat alone in miserable, rainy Britain. What a bunch of jerks. I need better friends. Possibly need to re-evaluate my relationship. Thank you, comment section, for being so supportive and giving good advice. I'm looking at having a little solo holiday somewhere in Europe and I'm making an effort to meet new people. They can't be worse than the current ones. Opie, I think that's a wonderful idea to go out and meet new people, make new friends independent of your boyfriend's friends. And as for your birthday, Opie, some people are very chill about their birthdays and they wouldn't have an issue with this at all. But that's not you. You do care about your birthday. It is an important day to you and your boyfriend knows that. And the thing is, in relationships, you have to consider what's important to your partner, even if you think it's not such a big deal. If it's something that's really important and special to your partner, then you have to understand that and compromise and make sure that you are there for the person, in this case, to celebrate a birthday. Story number 3. Opie writes, I accidentally let it slip to my girlfriend of 2 years yesterday that my mom complains about how she always contradicts herself and that she thinks my girlfriend is a psychopath. When I told her that, all she said was, quote, "oh," unquote. Last night, before we went to sleep, she started asking me more about what my mom has said about her. So I told her everything. Well, that backfired. She started bawling her eyes out, and I couldn't get her to calm down. I comforted her and reassured her that no matter what, I would be with her regardless of what my mom thinks of her. She explained to me how she's always nice to my mom, and she never does anything wrong, so she doesn't know why my mom would say such things. I don't know either, but deep down I agree with my mom. Regardless of what my mom thinks, I still love this girl to death, and she's the best girlfriend I've ever had. Well, at least I thought so. I came home from work and my girlfriend wasn't at our apartment. She's usually home the same time as me because we work the same hours. I called her phone multiple times and texted her asking where she was. No answer. For some reason the thought popped into my head that I should call my mom. No answer. My mom always answers. At this point I knew something was off. I decided to drive to my mom's house. She only lives 20 minutes away from our apartment. I pull into my mom's driveway and my girlfriend's car is parked outside my mom's house. Crap. I run inside to see my girlfriend with a knife pointed at my mother with tears running down from her eyes. She was crying that she's never done anything wrong and that my mom is ruining her life. I sneak up behind her and quickly grab the knife out of her hand. At this point, I don't know what the F to do. What the F is this crap? There's no way this is how she reacted to effing words. I called the cops and told them everything. 30 minutes later, my girlfriend was in handcuffs in the back of a squad car. I'm still shaking from all of this. My mom seems to have no reaction to the situation. She's literally emotionless and hasn't mentioned anything about what happened. It's been 2 hours. I'm at her house right now, and she's just staring at the TV. Update. A lot of the comments on here are targeting me, asking how I could let something like that slip out. It happens. We were having a conversation in the car about our families, and I inadvertently told her what my mom said without thinking. If you were in my position, you'd feel the same effing way. I do regret telling her, but I'm human. I made a horrible mistake, but don't chastise me. OP, thank goodness nobody got hurt. Once somebody grabs a weapon, even if they don't intend to actually use it, accidents do happen. As for your girlfriend, that is a lot of emotions, crying. That's not how psychopaths react. So I don't agree that she's a psychopath, although I can understand that it seems that way. I've got an idea of what's going on, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to diagnose your girlfriend, but definitely there is a disorder there and she does need help, which I'm sure she will be getting. So OP, as for the people that are, you say, chastising you and telling you you should have known better, you should not have brought up the subject, there's no way you could have foreseen something like this. This kind of thing, it would have come out eventually. So it's better that it's just happened now and everybody's okay, nobody got hurt, and now it's out in the open. You know your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend, you don't say, has issues, a lot of issues. And it's now up to her if she's going to work on that or not. And as for your mother, OP, she's in shock. That's why she's not saying anything. So you're going to have to make sure your mother is okay as well and that you're okay. There are so many people walking around with unresolved issues from their past that they're struggling with and comes out in different ways. And I know it's very easy to judge, but at the same time, most people that have these issues, they already judge themselves so harshly, more than you and I could even do. And if you're somebody suffering from this yourself, I really hope that you realize you deserve more. And I really hope that you will go out and seek help. And those of you that are already working on it, keep at it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be free of all of that. So that's it for this edition. I thank you so very much for listening. Please consider subscribing and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take very good care of yourself. Bye.